no one likes volleyball. But on paper, it should be huge. Fast, it's explosive, and it's athletic. It lives in the shadows of sports like basketball, football, and even tennis. Why is volleyball not as popular as it should be, and definitely as it deserves to be? It's because no one is telling the story of volleyball right. That's it. That's basically it. Bye. Let's start with the obvious. Volleyball is hard, like really hard. The volleyball skill ceiling, it's unbelievably high. That's one of the obvious reasons. You cannot just show up and be decent. You do not get there with ease. So, I pulled up some statistics for you. The average player starts between 10 and 14 years old. For some people, 14 years old is already a bit late because most top players started way earlier. We're not talking about the top players here, we're talking about the main average player. Most people quit between 30 and 34, because that's when our body gets older. It is still possible to start maybe ages 14 to 16 and get a decent level, but once you're later than that, it's already a bit late to get really high level, unless you're really tall or you have something really special you can do. Now that makes you wonder, how many actual active competition players are there in volleyball? Because according to Google, you have 1 billion volleyball players, which sounds absurd to me, but it probably counts those recreational and like maybe players who just play once a month with a couple of friends at a net or a beach volleyball net at the beach. Let's go back to the video. There's a lot of technical skills, rules, and seriously, don't even get me started on rotations. For new players, the games are fast, mistakes are punished immediately, and there's barely any time to think. How long do you think most rallies take? I mean, you have those free ball rallies where someone just goes free ball after free ball after free ball after free ball after free ball. Do you realize how quick rallies are? Some rallies are done within seconds. But let's not forget about something else. Haikyuu. Do you know those volleyball fans who came from Haikyuu who think they're gonna master it in 3 months? Forget about it. Volleyball takes years upon years of skills. Compared to basketball. You find a hoop, you find a ball, and you start playing. That's how you start with basketball. For even just playing volleyball with a couple of friends, you need a net, you need enough people, you need to vaguely know what you're doing. Good luck finding a volleyball net in the wild. I challenge you, have you ever found one before? Comment down below, because I want to know where it is, please. There are basketball hoops everywhere. Schools, driveways, parks. And even if you find one, where are you gonna find 8, 10, 12 friends to just play with, casually? How? Volleyball has a high barrier to entry. Even just watching volleyball, so already volleyball is hard to get into, both for playing and watching it. The real killer might be something else. Media. You've probably seen it like on TV, on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever. The first thing you see, the highlights of like a basketball game. Football, especially here in Belgium. Have you ever seen it for volleyball? Like, except for the big games? Well, me neither. Volleyball has no mainstream highlight culture. Like, highlights, do they exist in volleyball? Yeah, they do, but not enough. Think about basketball or football. You always have highlights, dramas, storylines, you name it. It's insane. You don't even have to watch basketball to realize how often you see it on the media. You absorb the sport through clips, highlights, edits, debates, whatever. Volleyball doesn't get that. What's the last time you saw a volleyball edit? Like, an actual edit. What you also gotta take into account is volleyball doesn't get pushed with personalities. You gotta think of football. Which two people come to mind? Obviously, Ronaldo and Messi. It's not hard. For basketball, Stephen Curry, LeBron James. I challenge you to think of 5 volleyball players right now. Your 5 favorite top volleyball players. Maybe you can name some like Nishida or Wilfredo Leon or... I'm not saying these people are boring, but I am saying these don't get pushed as much because of the little media coverage. I'm not a big fan of drama, but it works for views. When you do see volleyball on TV, it's often from static angles, bad audio, minimal replays, and zero storytelling. Points happen fast. Like sometimes it's not even clear when a point is made a net touch, line fall, service line fall, block touch. It's not easy to see. Imagine sitting in a stadium with 20,000 people. What if you sit all the way at the back, like all the way over there? And then you have to watch a game a couple hundred meters in front of you. Good luck with that. If you don't already understand volleyball, it's confusing. That's just the truth. You have this cycle that keeps going on and on and on and on. You get no exposure, you get no viewers, you get no money, you get bad media, and you get no exposure. And just keeps going on and on and on. Well, now something different. Imagine you're watching volleyball, but you don't know anything about it. You see a super spike and you think, right, cool, but you don't know how perfect the receive was, how perfect the sit was, how good the serve was. How do you even get started on that? You often see a big spike, then you don't realize maybe the blocker was late. How are you gonna know that? Because if you don't like volleyball or don't watch it, there's no way to know that. An especially underrated thing is people just beating a 3-man's block. It's insane. How do you get past a 3-man's block? That's crazy. The sport assumes you know everything. Another big thing. There's no big central league. A couple examples are the NBA or like the Premier League, Champions League, NFL. Volleyball talent is spread everywhere. You have Italy, where there's a big league, Poland, Brazil, Japan, Russia. It's one of the biggest and best things in volleyball is VNL. We all know that. It's one of the best and most hyped things in volleyball. But besides that, it's harder to get your viewership. There's not a single big league where everyone watches. It's a bit hard. Talent from volleyball is across the whole planet. And don't forget the national teams. Most people have never heard of the most famous players in volleyball. It's insane. Without a central spotlight, it's hard to build narratives, rivalries, or long-term fans. A lot of people see it as a participation sport. They just play it in high school and then just stop. Also, injuries, it's just really hard. How many volleyball players do you know that just quit because of injuries? It's gonna be more than one. Definitely more than one. It's heavy on the body. Volleyball has a lot of old marketing. It's fast, explosive, violent in every good way. You have static cameras, wide shots, no emotion, no player close-ups. Meanwhile, modern sport thrives on tight angles, slow motion, sound design, and storytelling. Volleyball should feel intense. You should hear the hits, see the sweat, feel the pressure. Instead, it often feels distant and flat. So no, volleyball isn't boring. Or it's not that no one likes volleyball. It's hard to get into, hard to understand. Like if you're just watching casually, the stories are there, the athletes are there, the moments are there. It's just, they're just not shown in the right way. And until volleyball learns how to tell its own story, it's gonna be an amazing sport that no one watches. Thank you.